everybody! I've been on hormones for about a year and 3 months now, and I'm just so happy with the results. Transitioning and going on hormones and living full-time as a girl have seriously been the best decisions I've ever made. I'm just so much happier now, and I just keep feeling more and more like a girl all the time. And I think that people around me are seeing me more and more like a girl all the time too, like my coworkers and my friends and stuff. And I just feel very, very happy, and it really was the best decision. But still, there's something about my body that the hormones won't change no matter what. It's that I really want a vagina. I've basically always wanted a vagina, and I really want to get SRS. It's just something that I feel that I need to get. Okay, so this video is going to be quite sexual in nature. I'm going to be talking about my genitals and part of my sex life and stuff, and if you're a person who doesn't want to know this information about me, like say you know me in real life or something, then maybe you shouldn't watch this. I'm not ashamed of this kind of stuff. I don't think sex is anything to be ashamed of, and I think it's important for transgender people to be able to come out and talk about all this stuff, because I find that a lot of people don't really talk about the sexual aspects of it, and there are sexual aspects of it, and I find that it's just not often discussed. So yeah, so I'm going to be talking about that. So if you don't want to know this, then stop watching. Okay. I've been wondering what it would be like to have a vagina since I was like 12 years old. In my 27th vlog about my childhood, I mentioned this, but when I was about 12 years old, I started going into the bathroom and looking in the mirror and holding my penis and stuff down to make myself look as flat as possible. And I wasn't doing this going like, oh, I want to be a girl. I just had the urge to make myself look flat down there. And after a little while, I noticed that there was this line that looked like stitch marks between my legs. And I was like, what's that? And it just totally looks like stitch marks. And then I started thinking like, what if I used to have a vagina and that's the stitch marks from stitching that up? And that it was done to me when I was a baby and no one ever told me. And then I got really scared about that, and I was just afraid to even bring it up to my parents or anything. And so I never told anyone, but I just kept on trying to like tuck myself basically. Like I started using duct tape and everything and just trying to make myself look very flat down there. And this continued on, and I go over a lot more of this in my childhood video. But my point is that trying to make myself look like I had a vagina, or imagining what it would be like to have a vagina, or thinking that I used to have a vagina, it's been with me for a long time. I know when I was a teenager and I was looking at porn, I'd quite often imagine what it was like to be the girl, like what the girl was feeling. And it was quite confusing because I was attracted to the girl as well, and I was imagining what it would be like to be her. And it was just really hard to sort out those feelings in my head, because I didn't know whether I was just really curious about vaginas or whether I wanted to know what it felt like to have one. And it's something that stayed with me for a long time, and I didn't even really realize what was going on in my head. It was always there. And obviously I still feel like that when I watch porn, that I wonder what it'd be like to be the girl, but now it seems like it's worse because all these feelings are at the surface. And when I masturbate, I have to imagine that I have a vagina or else I can't come. Like, I have to keep imagining that I have a vagina to even stay aroused. Like, it's just so much of like when I masturbate is me imagining that I have a vagina. And I think that that's a good sign that I should have a vagina, because I mean, I've heard some people say that like, oh yeah, you shouldn't like do it for sexual reasons or not, but it's a sex organ. Like, obviously you're going to be using it for its primary function. I don't just want it for sexual reasons. I want to be able to change in women's changing rooms. I want to be able to wear swimsuits at the pool without having people notice that I'm transgender. I want to be able to wear tight pants, and I want to not have to worry about coming untucked or going to the girls' bathroom and having people realize that I'm not a girl because of the way it sounds when I go pee. Which is actually, like, I'm pretty paranoid about that when I'm in the bathroom. And I feel a lot of anxiety about it when I think about that point in a relationship where you end up going to bed with somebody. And like, I've been in relationships with people, and then I think about that, like when I eventually have to go to bed with them, and I just feel so anxious about it because I feel like there's this expectation for me to use my penis to fuck things, and I don't like to do that. And I feel like they're not going to know what to do with me, and I feel like it's going to be disappointing for them, and I feel like from the way I look and sort of like what I'm advertising, I don't have what I'm advertising. Like I'm dating the kind of people that would want a girl with a vagina, and I just feel inadequate. I just feel incomplete with these people, and I just don't know. I haven't pursued relationships because of this, and it just I just feel very awkward about it, and it makes me feel really nervous just getting into this kind of situation. And I mean, I have had sexual relationships with other people, but they've been a few other trans people, and they more understand it. Like, they know to treat it more like a clitoris, and that I don't like fucking things, basically. And yeah, I guess it's just like a little bit of a learning curve for both people involved, but still, it just gives me a lot of anxiety. I imagine what it would be like to have a vagina probably 10 times a day. Like, if I see a girl wearing a swimsuit or something, or just something tight, I just get so envious. Like, when I was watching the Olympics, and I was watching the girls doing diving or gymnastics, it was actually hard for me to watch, because, I mean, I liked looking at the girls, but it just reminded me that I don't have a vagina, that I'm not a complete girl. And it was hard for me to watch, because that's like all I could think about whenever I was watching those sports in the Olympics, was that I don't have a vagina, and it sucks. And yeah, so I really want a vagina, but I'm kind of afraid of the surgery itself. Like, what if something goes wrong and I get a pinched nerve and I always feel pain? Or what if I just lose sensation, or the ability to orgasm, or anything that could possibly go wrong? Like, what if it doesn't look good? And I'm just kind of scared. Like, it's kind of like a huge surgery. Like, they take your penis and cut it in half and shove it inside your body. Like, that's fucking insane. And it's just like, I actually watched a video of the surgery about a year ago, like, and I nearly threw up. It was the grossest thing. I was just imagining what it would feel like to be awake and have them, like, oh my god, taking the skin off your penis and slicing it in half. Like, holy fuck. And I know you're asleep for it, but it's just pretty insane surgery. And I'm kind of afraid about, what if it just isn't as good as I think it will be? Like, what if having a vagina just isn't as good as I think, and then I end up having done this huge surgery to my body that I'm not happy with it, and I can't go back. But if I think about, in the future, just keeping my penis, then that makes me unhappy. Like, if I think about not getting SRS, it just makes me depressed, and I feel like I'll never be a complete girl, ever. And it just makes me, I just don't feel hopeful. And when I know in the future that I'm getting the surgery, then it just makes everything okay. Like, it makes it like, okay, well, I can tough it out for a little bit longer. But if that wasn't a surgery, I don't know how I'd feel about it. I mean, the surgery is a risk, but lots of people have had it. Like, the surgeons have had a lot of practice, and I've talked to a lot of transgender women, and they say that they've had good results. And because I've kind of wondered, like, what if these people are lying? Like, what if because they have the surgery and they can't go back, that they're just stuck with it, and then they just tell everyone that it's better than it is, just because they're trying to convince themselves of this. And I just think I need to trust people, that if people say that it's good for them, then it probably is. And, you know, most of the stories that I've heard are good, that of people who've gone to, like, one of the reputable surgeons, that they've had good results, and that they are much happier, even if they did lose a bit of sensation. And I'm like 99% positive that I will feel better with it. And it's just anxiety, it's just worrying about it, and I just honestly try not to think about it too much, because it's just anxiety, and I know I'm going to do it. So there's no point in worrying about it. And I know that having the surgery is not gonna like fix my life, and I'm not really gonna feel any different. Like, I'm going to feel the same as I do right now. Like, it's not like I'll all of a sudden magically be like completely satisfied with my whole life and everything will be totally fine from now on, but I think it'll help in a lot of situations. It'll help me in relationships, and I think it'll help me feel more comfortable in certain situations, like in the women's changing room, and just in general tucking issues where maybe someone might see a little lump down there or something. So all those will help, and I want to wear a swimsuit so badly. Like, that's like one of my favorite things is the one-piece swimsuit, one-piece bathing suit, and I just want, that's like gonna be one of the first things I do is put a swimsuit on, a one-piece swimsuit on, and go swimming with my new vagina. And I seriously cannot wait, because I've been wanting to do it. I've been wanting to wear a girl swimsuit since I was just a kid, and I'm looking forward to it. And as I become more and more feminine, I just seem to get more and more comfortable with myself. And these transgender feelings that I've had, I've been hiding and repressing for most of my life. And now that I've started to listen to them and start to act on them and try to fix these issues in my life, everything's just gotten better. And I think that I have such a strong feeling in me that I want a vagina that I should just go ahead with it. I should listen to my internal voice and trust my instincts about it and just go for it, because I think it's gonna be good. Oh yeah, so I found this awesome porn site, which is right up my alley. It's a bunch of pictures of girls' bodies, but from the point of view of the girl. So it's like a girl taking a picture, like looking down, and she's naked and stuff usually, and man, it's just like looking down, just looking at these pictures and then just seeing what it looks like to look down as a girl and seeing boobs and a vagina. It makes me want it so bad. And I like look at it and I just imagine that one day I'm gonna see that when I look down, and I love it. It's just, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Anyway, if you want to find it, I'm just gonna put the link right here. It's called Her Side of the Hills. It's just a Tumblr site, and it's really good. Anyway, so that's all I have to say about that, so I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.